I'm Rob Jackson. I've been a member at Fort Street for a long time, 81 maybe. I have 3 daughters. One is here. I hope not to embarrass her too much. I'm a family doctor as well, and that means I can't make up my mind, right? So I couldn't pick a story. It has to be stories, vignettes. My grandmother was born in Sweden. Beda Thanander Collins. Christine is actually her middle name, and that's who kind of set a tradition, a family tradition. She baked incessantly. Many traditional Swedish things, and my mother did the same, and my wife is a baker and bakes many of those traditional recipes. And you don't know how good it is until you know that whenever she had a bread in the state fair, she won a blue ribbon for anything traditionally Swedish. As did my mother. They just decided not to enter at the same time. So, love, family, and traditions, important. I'm the oldest of 6 kids. My father was a draftsman. Things were a little tight, but somehow Santa Claus was always able to bring things. So, a couple things that I was thinking about. One, because I read about chemistry sets and how they're different than they used to be. Well, mine was one of the used-to-bes. I got a chemistry set one year. Another year I got a set of skis. Now, I know that both of those put my parents back quite a bit. I don't know how they did it. It kind of makes you believe in Santa Claus. Makes you wonder about sacrifice and the importance of that. So love, family, and sacrifice are important. Another vignette I have is when I was 10. My cousin Gordon had leukemia for about 4 years. At that point, since he was 3, so 6 years. But he was home from the hospital. He'd been in the hospital quite a bit. And he was using a portable, if you will, bed that we had. And we were at my aunt's for Christmas that year, instead of Grandma's house, different than usual. Gordon was there, and he was in his little portable bed. And we had presents. Now, Gordon and I were pretty close, as was my sister, who was 16 months behind me. So Gordon's in between us. We were all pretty close in age. Gordon died that January rather. So that kind of gets to another story. I'm a family doctor. So I was in medical school, and they were describing the demographics of people in medical school. And I didn't have anybody that had graduated from college. I wasn't from an upper middle class family, et cetera, until he said, and almost all of you have had somebody die or nearly die when you were about 8 to 12. So, love, family, and destiny. It's something we believe in. I think that we all know that bad events, good events, shape us. Then it gets me to a story about Laura. Now, Laura is my oldest. She's 25, and a number of you know her, and you can see that this fits her. I was putting up Christmas lights, as I'm wont to do, each year, and she was helping me. Now, at that time, she was 2.5, but she followed me around like a puppy dog, and she had to be with me. So I gave her a basket full of lights, and I was drawing them up to the roof level. I had a ladder up there, and so on and so forth. Well, I was fiddling around with some of the things that I had to hook the lights up with, and lo and behold, I was looking down and I couldn't find Laura. I had this panicked feeling because I was thinking, here she's 2.5 years old and she's in front of the house, and could she be in traffic? I'm looking around and I'm yelling, Laura. And then a voice comes from behind me. She was on the roof. Laura was on the roof, and then my neighbors pulled up, in the driveway, not much further than it's closer than most of you, in fact. And Lloyd looked up, Lloyd and Mary, long-term neighbors, looked up, and I thought, oh my goodness, they're going to call Child Protective Services. I'm going to lose my medical license. My kid will be in foster care. And Lloyd said, oh, she's up there helping you. You should see her climb the fence. So, love, faith that she wouldn't fall down because she was pretty agile, and friends, good friends. Now, this year I have 2 graduating. One, Melanie, from the University of Michigan, and the other one is Carrie, who likes to do things at the same time as Melanie. So she passed driver's ed at the same time Melanie did, even though she's 2 years ahead of her. And Carrie has taken a more circuitous route to finishing, so to speak, and she finished a bread and pastries program at Schoolcraft this year. So it's an especially nice Christmas. And Melanie's going off to take care of gibbons in Thailand. Earlier, she had been entertaining going to Ethiopia and to study geladas, which are kind of like baboons but not baboons, and or bonobo chimpanzees in the Congo, and that's rife with civil war. So, if you will, Faith helped me with those things. She's going to a little safer place, I think, in Thailand for 8 months to study gibbons. Gibbons are a lesser ape, if you will. They're higher than a monkey by size, but still interesting. So, love, family, and future, because they're all going forward to the future. Melanie will go to graduate school, wants to be a professor in primatology, that's studying people that aren't, and all the apes and monkeys and so on and so forth. I told her she could go to medical school, but that's, beneath her. So there's nothing sadder in this world than to awake Christmas morning and not be a child. I had that quote from Irma Bombeck, who's usually kind of funny, but that's kind of pithy. It's nice to be a child on Christmas, and it's always good to bring out some of your childlike parts. So here I am in front of my family of Fort Street, being loved by you, valuing traditions, enduring sacrifice, seeking destiny, strengthening faith, and looking forward to our future together. Amen.